What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here. Welcome to our daily show where we discuss everything going on here in our country that you need to know about here on a daily basis. And we got some breaking news here. Nancy Pelosi has left Taiwan, but with a bunch of controversy as she's stirred up here. We'll also talk about a new push for $2,000 stimulus checks and how the new bill could save you $1,800 here as well. We have a bunch of states sending out stimulus checks, and there's going to be more to come here as well. Let's jump right in here. We got a lot to talk about here. If you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, make sure to click the subscribe button down below and the bell icon down below so you don't miss out on new videos. It's completely free to do so. Here we go. So Nancy Pelosi has safely left Taiwan, but not without controversy. Yeah, she waved off China's military action response to her visit, saying that, quote, whatever China was going to do, they'll do in their own good time. Yeah, you could see here Pelosi leaves Taiwan with the island and the world in a more precarious position as China performed military drills on her way out. Yeah. So here's what Nancy Pelosi had to say while she was in Taiwan with the president there. Check this out.
Come in friendship. We thank you for your leadership. We want the world to recognize that. And with that, again, I thank you, Vice President Tsai, for your hospitality, for your kind words. We want to increase interparliamentary cooperation and dialogue. And we do so at a time when our president has put forth an Asian Pacific initiative, which we support, and we want to be specific in terms of how we work with Taiwan in that regard. We talked about the economy. Thank you for bringing up the CHIPS bill. All of these members were instrumental in passing that important legislation, which we think offers greater opportunity for U.S.-Taiwan economic cooperation. In terms of governance, we commend Taiwan for being one of the freest societies in the world, for your success in addressing the COVID issue, which is a health issue, a security issue, an economic issue, and a governance issue. We congratulate you.
Yeah, so let me know your thoughts on House Speaker Nancy Pelosi's trip to Taiwan. Do you think it was something we needed to do? Do you think it was a show that we can stand up to China? Do you think it was unnecessary? I've seen a lot of different opinions on this here. She did make it in and out safely, but do you think it was poking the beast over there? Yeah, you can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. But as Senator Joe Manchin said here in the previous video, that we've had almost every senator and congressman go over there recently, and even Republican senator from Alaska had gone over there in the previous video we showed. So it's not like, I mean, she's the highest ranking member that's gone over there recently because, I mean, there's only, a few members higher than her, which would be the Senator Chuck Schumer and the president, or the vice president would only be the only higher ranking members. But China really took a lot of offense to this. So, yeah, you can let me know your thoughts here on this. As inflation is still high, gas prices have now fallen for 50 straight days. You can see here directly from the Wall Street Journal, approaching $4 a gallon on the average. Of course, we have a lot of states that have gas prices well below $4 a gallon. Let me know in the comments section. It's always interesting to see what is the lowest price of gas you have seen in your area. Let me know your city and the price of gas where you are here. Here is the average price of gas right here now as gas has dropped 50 days straight. Yeah, so this is the national average price of gas here. You can see here down to 4.16 a gallon. A month ago, 4.81. So we've dropped from 4.81 to 4.16 in a month. That does seem pretty significant. And if things continue the national average will be below $4 a gallon in the threes. There are a lot of areas in the United States that are in the $3 range. I've seen some people say gas is below 350 depending on your area. So congratulations if you're below 350. That seems like a big stretch from where we were not that long ago. You can see here on June 14th, the highest recorded average price ever was 501. So to see people with gas at 350 or below does seem like pretty good relief here. Of course, we'd like to continue to see it going down, and who knows what will happen, but gas has gone down for 50 days in a row, every single day here. Diesel was at 581 on June 19th. 581. Diesel is now 523, so down almost 60 cents here. And you can see here regular gas down almost 60 cents here as well on regular. So, yeah, pretty significant decline. And of course, it looks like it's going to continue here. We haven't seen anything. We haven't seen a single day that hasn't gone down yet. So, yeah, let me know in the comment section what gas is, where you are, and the city and state that you are in the comment section. But even with this little bit of relief, there's still about 60% of Americans that are living paycheck to paycheck or are behind on bills. And we have a plethora of states that are helping their residents. We have about 20 different states here that have issued stimulus checks or have approved stimulus checks and are in the process of sending them out. Pennsylvania is trying to send out another one, or the first one, I should say, for Pennsylvania here. And the Governor Tom Wolf, is a Democrat. He has a Republican legislature. The House and Senate of Pennsylvania is controlled by Republicans. He's a Democrat. He's term limited. He can't even run again. But he is still trying to push for $2,000 stimulus checks for Pennsylvania to become the latest state to issue a stimulus check or a tax rebate check or whatever you want to call it here. Here is Governor Tom Wolf from Pennsylvania pushing for a $2,000 stimulus check for his state. Check this out. Here's the governor.
NBC 10 political reporter Lauren Make pressed Governor Tom Wolf about his plan. She joins us live in the studio with the very latest. Lauren?
Hey, guys, this is not the first time that Governor Wolf has proposed this. He tried it during budget negotiations, but now Democrats are reintroducing their plan. And it comes as people are really feeling the pinch of higher prices. But lawmakers from here to Washington aren't in agreement on what will help.
Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf today with a pitch to give some Pennsylvania residents a little extra cash at a time when they're paying extra for essentials.
People need help right now, and we can afford to do this as a Commonwealth right now.
Wolf and Democrats are making another run at a plan to send households making up to $80,000 checks of up to $2,000. Joining them today, a Fulcroft resident feeling a financial squeeze as she raises two great-grandchildren.
It comes to what do I pay this month and what can we do without.
She says the money would help, but not all consumers say it's the way to go.
What do you think would help at this point?
I don't think sending out checks anymore is going to help with inflation. I think that's why we're in the problem we are in the first place.
The federal government sent stimulus checks during the pandemic, and since then, some states, including Delaware, have delivered their own payments. In Pennsylvania, Republicans who control the legislature are not backing Wolf's idea. A spokesman for the Republican House caucus said Wolf's proposal, quote, lacks both sincerity and common sense. And he said, quote, it is over-stimulus with these very ideas that is contributing to the inflation issues the governor says he is trying to alleviate with his plan to send checks directly to Pennsylvanians. I asked a professor with the University of Pennsylvania's Wharton School about the idea some states are trying.
What impact do those programs have on inflation and the broader economy?
So they certainly don't reduce inflation. If anything, they will actually help support more inflation by giving people more consumer purchasing power.
Professor Kent Smetters points out the intention, though, is to get money to families hurt by prices going up more than wages. It comes as federal lawmakers are also debating the best way to curb rising prices and blunt the pain of them. Back in Pennsylvania.
What's your response to concerns that putting more money into the economy might make inflation worse?
Yeah, there's a war on in Ukraine. There are a lot of disruptions right now, and the thing is that as a number of people have said, people in Pennsylvania right here are hurting.
Governor Wolf called the $2,000 direct payments a drop in the bucket in the larger economy.
I don't think that would have much of an inflationary impact. What it would do is help people pay their bills.
I also asked Governor Wolf why he thinks this might go through now when it didn't fly before. Well, he said he thinks that there is a growing awareness that Pennsylvania has the financial capacity to do this.
Yeah, let me know your thoughts here in the comments. The key to what these states are doing here is they're sending it out mostly to low and middle income residents. They're using the stimulus money that was already approved from the last stimulus package. So it's money that was already allocated, it's already been approved, it's already been on the books, it's already been printed, per se, it's already been there. The government has already paid down deficit. It's already paid down debt here. I'll show you the headline in case you haven't seen it. This is directly from Bloomberg. The U.S. budget gap has narrowed. The government has paid down $1.7 trillion since October. And this next bill, the U.S. Inflation Reduction Act of 2022, is set to pay down another $300 billion as well. And these checks on the state level are just designed to help people struggling. Low and middle income, low income are just designed to help people get through because people are being ravaged right now. The people that can't pay their bills, the people that are already living paycheck to paycheck, and now inflation, uh, food prices going up, gas prices that have gone up dramatically, rent prices that have gone up dramatically, people that already couldn't get by to begin with, now they're thinking, how do I get by? You know, that last stimulus check was gone. And here's the thing is that you got to remember, I get people want to blame the stimulus check. Some people do, but inflation is going around everywhere. If you've watched my channel, inflation is going on everywhere around the world. Okay. Food prices are up everywhere around the world. In fact, food is at an all-time high globally. Okay. Gas prices are high everywhere all around the world. In fact, in most parts of Europe, gas is at $8 and $9 a gallon. Again, it's come down a little bit there as well. But if you watched my channel, you know this, okay? So inflation, in fact, we're at 9.1%. Inflation was at 9.9% in Europe a month before we hit 9%, or in United Kingdom, okay? So inflation was actually higher there before it was here in the United States, okay? And a lot of countries that didn't even send out stimulus or sent out a lot less than we did have inflation just as high or in some cases higher. And a lot of countries in Europe have even higher gas. Okay. So you got to kind of remember that we're not the only country doing this. And if anything, the stimulus that the United States did actually helped keep a lot of people somewhat afloat. Okay. So imagine if they didn't send out the stimulus checks. Imagine how many people would be hungry or may have lost their homes. Imagine if they didn't have the extra SNAP benefits. Imagine if they didn't have, the food assistance. Imagine if that wasn't going on here to help out a lot of people. People would literally not have money for food. Imagine how many small businesses may have gone out of business. Imagine how many people would have lost their jobs. Okay. Imagine if the rent assistance wasn't there, the mortgage assistance, the deferred mortgage payments during the pandemic that people didn't have to pay their mortgages for like a year or so. Imagine if all these things, imagine if the Paycheck Protection Program wasn't there. Imagine all these the student loan payments that are still deferred. Imagine if all this different type of help wasn't there. Imagine if none of it existed. Imagine how much worse off people and our economy would be. Yeah, just kind of think about that for a second. So all this stuff helped prop up our economy and people. Remember, the economy is really just made of our people, how well people are doing. So you got to kind of really think about that for a second here. And a new report has come out here. I mentioned this in the last video. The Inflation Reduction Act would lead to $1,800 in savings for the average household, an analysis finds, mostly through energy reduction of household energy payments and your energy bills that is going to happen here. Also, there's a lot of tax credits and things like that if you buy new appliances and things like that. If you also buy an electric vehicle or even a used electric vehicle in the future, there's a $4,000 to $7,500 credit in the future. I know a lot of people aren't going to buy those, but that will be available for some people here in the future. Also, 5 former Treasury secretaries are backing the Inflation Reduction Act. I'll go over that here maybe in the next video or two. But there's a lot of people that are saying, and remember, this is a significantly reduced bill. This bill is less than $1 trillion. So, for example, the CHIPS bill that just passed was $280 billion, almost $300 billion. Okay. That bill, $250 billion, they didn't pay for it at all. Okay, that bill which was passed with bipartisan support, Republicans and Democrats, the semiconductor bill, that bill wasn't paid for. This bill is paid for. Okay, it's fully paid for. It's actually going to they're paying for it by making corporations pay at least 15%. So large corporations that make at least $1 billion is the primary way. They're going to have to, if you make at least $1 billion, you're going to have to pay at least a 15% minimum corporation tax. If you already pay at least 15%, you won't have to pay anything more. There's a lot of corporations that make $1 billion and actually pay $0 in taxes through tax loopholes. A lot of people don't think that's fair. The famous example was there was a year or a couple years that Amazon made 1 year, Amazon made $11.2 billion and paid $0 in taxes. Just think about that for a second. So they would have had to pay 15%. 15% is, well, first of all, the corporate tax rate is 21%. It used to be 35% before Trump lowered it in 2017 with the reconciliation process, which the Republicans passed on their own without any Democrat votes. And a lot of people don't think that this is fair, that corporations that make billions of dollars should pay zero taxes. So this bill is going to be fully paid for, meaning that it's by, this type of thing here. Corporations will have to pay at least 15%. Only corporations that make over $1 billion. Okay. And you can let me know your thoughts here on this. So this is ever evolving. It hasn't passed yet. Kirsten Sinema has to sign on. Details could change. I will keep you up to date here. We're learning more literally by the hour here. So, and really there's a lot of different things going on here. So make sure to subscribe down below. New videos come out here every day at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Subscribing is completely free to do so. And let me know your thoughts here in the comments. You can click here to watch my newest video next, and you can click here to see my video on $2,400 Social Security boost. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.